Hi students, in this video I am going to discuss with you about DMAT account. Now DMAT accounts stands for dematerialized account. What is the meaning of dematerialized account? This is an account to hold financial securities, whether it is equity security or debt security, in electronic form. So therefore, DMAT account is the short form for dematerialized account. In India, DMAT accounts are maintained by two depository organizations. They are called National Securities Depository Limited and abbreviated as NSDL, as well as Central Depository Services Limited, which is abbreviated as CDSL. And then you have a depository participant such as a bank, which acts as an intermediary between the investor and the depository. So let me explain this once again. A depository is an institution holding a pool of pre-verified shares held in electronic mode and offers efficient settlement of transactions. In India, we have the National Securities Depository Limited, NSDL, and Central Depository Services Limited, that is CDSL, who are the two main designated depositories. Further, you have depository participant, who is an intermediary between the investor and the depository. A depository participant, or DP, that is a short form for depository participant, is typically a financial organization like a bank, a broker, a financial institution, or custodian acting as an agent of the depository to make its services available to the investors. Now each DP, that is depository participant, is assigned with a unique identification number. So what is the motive of having a DMAT system? We have adopted the DMAT account for electronic storing, wherein shares and securities are represented and maintained electronically. So with this, we eliminate the troubles that are associated with paper form of shares. After the introduction of the depository system under the Depository Act of 1996, the process for sales, purchases and transfers of shares have become significantly easier, and most of the risk associated with paper certificates have been reduced. There are certain benefits that we have by using the DMAT system. You can have easy and convenient way of holding securities. Now, having DMAT account and shares held in DMAT account, it is safer than paper shares, because earlier there were risks associated with physical certificates such as bad delivery, fake securities, delay in receiving the security, theft of securities, and so on. Also, there is a reduced paperwork when you transfer the securities. Further, there is reduced transaction cost. Even there is no problem regarding odd lot. Odd lot means when there is not a proper number of shares, you may not be able to sell them. Now in using DMAT, even one share can be sold. And any change in address can be recorded with a depository participant, and it gets registered with all the companies in which the investor holds securities. This eliminates the need to correspond with each of the companies separately. Also, transmission of securities is done by the DP, that is depository participant. Therefore, it eliminates the need for notifying companies. Automatic credit happens into the Demat account for shares arising from bonus, split shares, consolidation or merger, and so on. A single Demat account can hold investments in both equity as well as debt instruments. Also, traders can work from anywhere, even from home, they can work using a Demat account. Now, Demat account gives benefit to companies, investors, as well as brokers. Let's see the benefits that's available to the company because of Demat system. The depository system helps in reducing the cost of new issues due to lower printing and distribution costs. It also increases the efficiency of the registrars and transfer agents and the secretarial department of a company. It provides better facilities for communication and timely service to shareholders and investors. Thus, the company gets benefited out of a depository system. Now, what are the benefits available to the investor? To the investor, it reduces risk involved in holding physical certificates, such as loss, theft, mutilation, forgery, and so on. It ensures the transfer and settlement without any delay in registration of shares. It ensures faster communication to the investors. It helps in avoiding bad delivery problems due to signature differences and various other reasons. There is faster payment on sale of shares. No stamp duty is required to be paid on transfer of shares. It provides more acceptability and liquidity of the securities. Also, let us see how it is going to benefit the brokers. It reduces the risk of delayed settlement. It ensures greater profit due to increase in the volume of trading. It also eliminates chances of forgery or bad delivery and increases the overall trading and profitability. This in turn increases the confidence of investors. So you see that there are so many benefits that are available out of using a Demat account. Now the Demat account number is quoted for all transactions to enable electronic settlement of traders to take place. Access to the Demat account requires an internet password and a transaction password. Transfers or purchases of securities can then be initiated. Purchases and sales of securities on Demat account are automatically made once the transactions are confirmed and completed. So basically, Demat account is about converting physical records of investments into electronic records. We also call it as dematerializing of securities. In order to dematerialize physical securities, the investors need to fill in a Demat request form which is available with the depository participant and submit the same along with the physical certificates. Every security has an international security identification number. A separate request form must be filled for every identification number. Now, how is the complete process of dematerialization done? The investor surrenders his certificates for dematerialization to the depository participant. The depository participant updates the account of the investor. Demat accounts are then maintained by National Securities Depository Limited and Central Depository Services Limited, and the banks, which are the depository participants, acts as the intermediary. Now, regarding the fees, there are 4 major charges usually levied on a Demat account. You need to pay the account opening fee, the annual maintenance fee, custodian fee, and transaction fee. Charges for all fees vary by depository participant. Now, what are the options that you have in while opening a demat account? There are many hundreds of DPs, that is depository participants, offering the demat account facility in India. If you make a comparison of the fees which are charged by different depository participants, you'll find that there are a few distinct advantages of having a bank as a DP. Having a demat account with a bank DP usually provides quick processing, good accessibility, convenience, and online transaction capability to the investor. Generally, banks credit the demat account with shares in case of purchase, or credit a savings account with the proceeds of a sale on the third day. Banks are also advantageous because of the number of branches that they have. Some banks give the option of opening a demat account in any branch, while others restrict themselves to a select set of branches. Some private banks also provide online access to the demat account. Therefore, investors can conveniently check online details of their holdings, transactions, and status of requests through their bank's net banking facility. A broker who acts as a DP may not be able to provide these services. So it's preferable if you have a bank as your depository participant. Some of the additional features which are usually offered by banks are like this. Some DPs offer frequent trader account, where they charge frequent traders at lower rates than the standard charges. Demat account holders are generally required to pay the DP an advance fee for each account that will be adjusted against various service charges. The account holder needs to raise the balance when it falls below a certain amount prescribed by the DP. However, if the holders are also holding a savings account with the DP, they can provide a debit authorization to the DP for paying this charge. Finally, once choosing a depository participant, it would be wise to keep all accounts with that depository participant so that tracking of capital gains liability becomes easier. So in the Indian banking system, as an investor, you have got to first approach a DP, that is depository participant, and fill up an account opening form. The account opening form must be supported by copies of any one of the approved documents to serve as proof of identity and proof of address as specified by SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India. The investor must have his permanent account number, that is PAN, in original at the time of opening of the account. All applicants should carry original documents for verification by an authorized official of the DP under his signature. Further, the investor has to sign an agreement with the DP in a depository prescribed standard format which details the rights and duties of investor and DP. The DP should provide the investor with a copy of the agreement and schedule of charges for their future reference. The DP will open the account in the system and give an account number, which is also called the beneficiary owner identification number. The DP can revise the charges by giving 30 days notice in advance. SEBI has rationalized the cost structure for dematerialization by removing account opening charges, transaction charges for credit of security, and custody charges. So to open a demat account, you have to provide documents which fulfill the requirements of KYC, that is know your customer. A contract with a stockbroker does not have to be signed. Generally, the documents are as follows: PAN, that is permanent account number, it's compulsory. Last 3 months bank statement, proof of address, income tax return, 2 color photographs, bank cross check, and Aadhaar card. Some of the disadvantages of Demat is that trading in securities may become uncontrolled, and it becomes important that the capital market regulator keeps a close watch on the trading in Demat securities and see to it that trading does not act as a detriment to investors. For Demat securities, the role of key market players such as stockbrokers needs to be supervised, as they have the capability of manipulating the market. There is no provision to close a Demat account which is having illiquid shares. The investor cannot close the account, and he and his successors have to go on paying the charges to the participant, like annual folio charges and so on. After liquidating the holdings, many Indian investors don't close their DP account. They are unaware that DPs charge even on dormant accounts. So you have to be very careful about paying extra money on such dormant accounts. Now let's understand how the transfer of shares happens between DPs. To transfer shares, an investor has to fill one of the 2 kinds of depository instruction slip. The first check made is whether both Demat accounts are at the same depository. There are 2 depositories, as I told you earlier, the CDSL and the NSDL. If both Demat accounts are at the same depository, then an inter-depository slip has to be filled and submitted. For example, if there is one Demat account with CDSL and the other Demat account is with NSDL, then an inter-depository slip is needed. In case the investor needs an inter-depository slip, the investor should check with the broker, since brokers usually issue them. Now that the correct depository instruction slip has been determined, information relating to transfer transaction has to be entered, such as the script name, INE number, quantity in words and figures. Finally, the investor should submit the depository instruction slip, that is DIS, to the broker with signatures. The transfer broker shall accept that depository instruction slip in duplicate and acknowledge its receipt on the duplicate copy. The investor should submit the depository instruction slip when the market is open. Accordingly, its dates of submission and execution can be the same day, or a difference of 1 day is also acceptable. The investor also has to pay the broker some charges for the transfer. So I hope you have understood the meaning of having a Demat account and what is the benefit of having Demat account, what is the benefit available to the company, to the investor and to brokers, who a DP is, and how you get the physical records converted into electronic records, and what are the fees that are payable on a Demat account, and how the bank charges you even when you are having a dormant Demat account, the documents that are required for opening a Demat account, the disadvantages of Demat account, and how the transfer of shares happens between DPs. So I would like to sum up this discussion by saying once again that Demat is a short form for dematerialized account, and it is an account to hold your financial securities, whether it is equity or debt, in an electronic form. And for this, you have in India Demat accounts maintained under 2 depository organization. One is the NSDL, that is the National Securities Depository Limited, and the other one is the CDSL, which is the Central Depository Services Limited. And there are a number of depository participants such as banks who act as an intermediary between the investor and the depository. So the demat account number is quoted for all transactions to enable the electronic settlement of trade, and access to such account requires an internet password and a transaction password. Thereafter, transfers and purchases of securities can be initiated. Thank you for listening.